Maggie and Xander sleeping together. It was a short but crazy week. Are you ready to recap? Let's dish.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hey everyone, welcome to DISHIN Days. We are AfterBuzz TV's weekly recap of NBC's Emmy award-winning hit soap opera, Days of Our Lives. I am your host, Tami Goveia, and today we have a familiar face and a new face. So, familiar face, you want to introduce yourself?
Who's the familiar face?
You're the familiar face.
Is it me? Hi, everybody. I'm Tony Moore. Familiar face, different seat.
And hi, everyone. I am Chelsie Overocker. I'm so excited to be here. I'm a huge Days fan. I was watching it ever since I was little. One of my favorite plots right now is definitely the Sierra and Ben plot.
Oh, she's a Sin fan, y'all. She's a Sin fan.
I am. And then back in the day, it was definitely Belle and Sean. Still Belle and Sean, but definitely when they were teenagers.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Chelsie, for coming in and filling in for Michael Mattis, who is at
Celebrating.
the LA Pride, taking all the pictures of all the stars and celebrities and shenanigans that are happening. And happy Pride to everyone who's watching.
Happy Pride, everyone.
Pride.
We want to be sure that everyone who loves DISHIN Days is following us across all the social media platforms. Now, on Facebook and Instagram, you can find us at DISHIN Days, and on Twitter, you can find us at _DISHIN Days. If you are on YouTube and in the chat room, say hello. And if you are a podcast listener, hello, podcast listener. Please give us a 5-star review, engage with us, support us, love us. We're needy. We're needy that way. Also, if you're a fan of the other soap operas, such as General Hospital or The Young and the Restless, we have a couple of recap shows for those as well. For General Hospital, we have the GH Report, and for The Young and the Restless, we have The Restless Wrap. Tune in. They're great shows. Before we start, guys and girls, what did you think of this short but cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs week?
It was kind of emotional at first. Okay, I have to say the Will and Sunny, that in the hospital, that moment, that really got to me, especially Will's like, this might be my last story. Please let me write this last story. And Sunny's still like hanging on. That scene really got to me.
It's so hard to watch.
I know, yeah.
This week was short, but it was still like powerful. There were a lot of like gasping moments and still some stuff that was like, where are they going to go with that?
Yeah.
So I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I thought it was powerful.
Yeah.
Short and powerful.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so let's get into it, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, everyone, it's time to start
DISHIN Days.
And Chelsie, you
Yeah.
have the honors of flipping the hourglass.
Oh, thank you. This is so cool.
Yay! We said it and forget it.
Okay, so first storyline, Eric, Brady, Crickle, Sarah Rex, Chloe, Jack, and Eve. Oh, man. So the week starts off with Maggie and Xander. Thoughts? Comments?
Okay, so was I the only one thinking for 2 seconds that like Xander and Maggie were gonna kiss or something?
Totally.
So
yes.
I was sitting there like, wait, no.
Well, I wasn't sure whether to go Maggie, and then I'm like, oh no.
It was mixed thoughts.
It was mixed thoughts because
Yeah.
it's like, you know that Xander, let's face it, he's a little bit of a horn dog. And then there was vulnerable Maggie, and they were starting to have this moment, and especially when, she was saying something about like, it made me, I can't remember what she said, but it made me feel
when
like she
you're
was
abandoned.
Yes.
Yeah.
You never forget that feeling.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Being alone.
I was like, oh my gosh, she's talking about like her marriage and how she feels alone. And then I just felt like that was Xander's way to go. And I was gonna go, no!
What's happening?
No, don't do it.
But it was a nice moment for Xander, like a vulnerability moment with him, I have to say. So it's kind of nice because he always kind of comes across, tough and everything. So that was kind of nice that with Maggie, he was able to kind of let that down and just be that comfort that she needed. So that, in a way, was like, yeah, I get what you're saying, but it was kind of, I think Maggie needed that.
See, and I was thinking, is he playing her?
Yeah.
100% playing her?
You know what?
Are there moments of vulnerability mixed in with playing her? I couldn't completely go, oh my God, this is so great, because I don't trust him.
Yeah.
I honestly think that it was the show's way of kind of humanizing Xander just a little bit and allowing a connection between him and Maggie. The fact that they could relate, especially when Xander said, basically like his mom couldn't handle, the pressures and things like that, and would hit the bottle, and he would have to take care of her and tuck her in the bed.
That's so
and
hard.
then was
That's-
able to
oh
just
my
kind of
God.
run.
Yeah.
So that's a lot, and I think that he obviously didn't have a strong mother figure, and Maggie is a very strong woman and very motherly, and I think just with that situation, there's now a connection and now a love to now maybe take care of her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now it's not just up to Brady, now it's up to Xander, which is kind of smart to have that, because then it puts him in a good position with Victor.
Agreed.
Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's good. I think it's good.
It builds the conflict.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I liked it. I was worried though. I was a little nervous.
Because there is chemistry between them.
Do you think they're gonna dig more into that?
I don't think it's that chemistry. I think it's the chemistry of he is going to go into a motherly son, like protective kind of a mode again.
Yeah.
That allows for us to see a little bit of his vulnerability and maybe a little insight into how he grew up and
Yeah.
why maybe he's such a hard-faced kind of a person. I think this is the first layer of the onion that we're gonna peel back to see Xander.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because ever since he came onto the scene, he's been like this sexy like bad boy that we
Yeah.
all Google over. But now I think they're gonna dive a little bit deeper into him, and I think they're using the storyline with Maggie to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
She'll bring out his conscience
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
because he has one.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, it's just deep.
He
deep
also
in there.
has 12 abs.
No,
that
he's
are
got like
just wonderful.
72. I mean, there's not even a pack out there that exists. That's amazing.
No, it's so good.
The shirtless scenes.
I know. Wait till the summer comes.
Oh, I'm excited for summer. It's gonna heat
I
up.
mean, can he like go to the pool more often? Because remember when he came back that one time, he
Yes.
was always taking.
When Leah was there, he was
he
topless
was always
a
in the
lot.
pool. Just saying. Yeah.
And then I know we had a scene with Rex and Sarah as they are going over Rex's research
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
he had done with sci-fi Dr. Rolf.
Hmm.
And they had the images of the masks.
And they talked about
And
it.
they
They
talked about it.
Yeah, they talked about back in the 80s, which again, this is why I love Ron and his writing and the writing team at Days, is that they continue to remind us of the history of the show.
Yes.
So it was back in the 80s, they said Tony or Andre?
Well, he said he's
Andre.
Andre Tony. I think he used Tony. No, it was Tony.
Tony was killing people,
Yes.
but was using the face of John.
Was it John?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was so because Rex said my dad. Wait,
It was Bo.
no wait,
Didn't
who's
they
this
say-
Rex's dad?
Didn't they say
I thought.
was it-
Roman.
it was Roman?
Roman is Rex. So it was Roman. Why don't I thought John? So it
Fans.
was.
What mask back in the day?
Wait, but if
Chat
it was
room.
the 80s, would it have been John as Roman?
Well, that was the confusion. I think it was Roman.
It's Roman, but is it John as Roman or Roman as Roman? Anyway, it was Rex's dad, and Rolf became so intrigued by it that he wanted to
Replicate that.
and
Yeah.
develop it more.
Yeah.
But it's literally a clue that they need.
Yeah,
That's
that they're
staring
using
them in the
into this
face.
storyline
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Sarah said, this is something out of science fiction. Do you think this could actually be done? And he said, absolutely.
Andre was killing people. Andre used a mask to pretend to be Roman.
Andre.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
Andre. And it was the old Roman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
So now that clears everything up.
Thank you, fans. Chloe, we're gonna cut to being at the restaurant. I loved that scene
Yeah.
about the blue napkins.
Yes.
But I like blue.
Oh my! Because I totally got that.
Yeah, I
You know, the subtext of that was just like, oh my God, she's having a meltdown.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's great chemistry between Chloe and Julie too, and just how she was a comfort for her. And I know Chloe kind of put a little bit of blame on Julie too, but I think at the same time she's like, I'm here for you, and I think it was a nice moment between them.
I love that.
Yeah.
moment.
But it's also like, we all know how overbearing Julie can be. And I think this was just this thing where Chloe's like, listen, I may be going through something, but I need this right now.
Some structure.
Yes.
To
Some
like
routine.
some familiarity
Yes.
that keeps me going.
Yes.
Yes.
And Julie being Julie was like, oh no, I got rid of the blue documents because, you know, they're great. And when Chloe's like, but I like the blue.
Yeah.
It was literally her saying, like, just let me have this, please. I need normalcy. And I
Yes.
think Julie recognized that and was just like, okay, all right, okay.
She
all right.
finally got it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She finally got it.
Yeah. But Julie confronting Jack.
Was everything.
When she said, when she mentioned how he remembered his old self, and then he was like, or, you know, rather be dead, and she was like, either way would be fine for me. And I was just like, shade.
What did she say? I calls him as I sees him.
I call him as I see them. I'm like, oh, Miss Julie, girl.
That was awesome. But then
I
he
love
came
Julie.
right back. He came right back at her, calling her a cow.
Yeah.
That was a good moment because she didn't even flinch.
No,
That's
no,
what I love
she just
about it.
took
She didn't
it.
even flinch.
No, Julie's hard. She has a hard skin.
Yeah, that's why she's Julie.
Yeah. Yes.
Julie takes no mess. Oh, I remember now. He was saying how she was saying, oh, Jennifer's clunk over the head has like made you remember your old self. And then he was like, or tried to kill me. And she was like, at this point, I don't care either way.
Either way.
Yeah, I love that moment.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
works for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
And then on the other side of the restaurant, we had Chloe and Eve.
Yes.
I love that little conversation. And Chloe blaming Eve. She's like, what?
Yeah.
And Chloe's all, you're the one that told me to let my guard down
Mm-hmm.
with Stefan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And look what happened.
Yeah.
I started laughing.
Yes.
That was such a girlfriend moment.
It is. It is. And I think, I think Chloe definitely, again, she has some tough skin too, especially throughout the seasons. But this one in particular, Chloe, if she gets hurt though, she knows how to rebound back.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about that character. So she, told Eve, look, this isn't cool.
I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I loved
Yeah.
it. This kind of annoyed me. So there was a moment where, Chloe leaves the restaurant and she goes into the little park square and she's having a meltdown,
Yes.
Mhm.
crying on the bench.
Yeah.
And who comes to her rescue?
Rex. Okay, side note, because back in the day, it used to be Brady and Chloe, and then now it's Rex and Chloe with the same
But the
actor.
same actor.
It was like deja vu. I really hope they dig into that because I love them together. So I was like, okay, different characters, but same actors. That would be really interesting to play out.
And it gives Rex somebody because we all know Sarah is not feeling Rex at all. She's still feeling Eric, and
Yes.
Eric is still feeling her, but he's caught in the web of Cole. So, at least it gives something to add to the triangle a little bit.
And Rex is the knight in shining armor. Like he's always attracted to a woman that is crying.
Well, aren't most people,
Most
attracted
men, you
to
mean?
most people?
Most people.
Most people
All right.
are attracted to I don't want to say the down and outs, but they want to be able to comfort those
Make
who
everything
are
okay.
at their low points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of low points,
Mhm.
we had Eric and Brady and Cole.
Oh,
That whole drama.
I seriously thought that when she flipped over, the parts of the mask was gonna be messed up, or there was gonna be a chip missing or something like that. But there was a moment where as Nicole was explaining everything that happened, I was looking at Brady and I was like, I feel like I'm not sure if he's buying her story and how it's this complete 180 of just hatred towards Eric.
Oh, definitely not. Especially when they're in the room together after Eric leaves. You could totally see Brady's just questioning the whole thing. Like, okay, no, Eric doesn't want to hurt you. And she just keeps pushing herself onto Brady. So he's starting to catch on that something's going on with Nicole.
Yeah. Because it just doesn't make sense. And then Eric mentioned when he looked into Nicole's eyes,
I love
he
that
wasn't
moment.
seeing the same person.
He didn't recognize
Yeah.
her.
And I was just like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
Both of them are like something.
Something
There's
is off.
grief, but there's just something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because both of these men know Nicole
Yeah.
really, really well.
Yep.
So
I don't know. I just feel like sometimes I sit and I watch the show and I'm like, with all the history of the show and all the shenanigans, like at what point do you go
Yeah.
and then walk up to them and just kind of go, okay, I just want to, oh, it's coming off. I knew it. You know what I mean? Like something.
But that scene when Kristen rips off the mask, I was like, oh, now it comes off. Out of all of them, that's all it took.
She was just like, well, I just still love that the mask is really in play. It's not like they cut to something and they come back and like it's the other person. It's literally like
it's another character.
Yeah.
Did you remember, it wasn't this week, but the week before, she had a voice box?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And oddly enough, the week before I was watching our show and Michael Mattis said that he was interested in knowing how Kristen got the voice down so well. And then I realized we didn't talk about it last week, was that she got a little voice box and was like, I'm Nicole now. You know what I mean? I'm like, is it that simple?
Wow.
Like she just went, Nicole voice.
That obviously is covered by the mask well enough, so it's not this.
Right.
It's suspension of disbelief a little bit.
Right.
Because it's not like it's a little microchip. That's
Yeah.
tiny. Like it was a large box
Right.
kind of thing. So I was like, whatever, this is fine.
Yeah.
This is fine. And I love the scene of Kristen tearing up the room.
Yes.
And Jack and Eve
are walking by.
Like, oh, I know how she feels losing a child. Maybe she needs someone to talk to. I'm like, Jack's like, nah.
Yeah, just leave her alone.
Yeah. But she tore that room up and she was loud. Like she was so loud they were walking by like, what is going oh, do we call 911? Like this she is. And I love the shot of her just sitting there and it panned out and the room was completely destroyed.
Disaster.
Yes.
Like that's one of those moments as an actor that like if you're having a frustrating day or week and you read in the script that you get to tear something up,
It's fun.
It's going down.
No acting needed.
No, just let it out.
But I always love you can see in the actor how they want to be into it, but then like they go to like reach for something and then they go, oh wait, I don't know if I can do.
It's a false moment.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I remember a couple of years ago, Billy Flynn had a scene where he was in the DeMera mansion and he was tearing stuff up and he went to pick up a chair and he like held it up and I said, I feel like that was the moment you realized maybe I shouldn't pick up this chair. It's a little heavy. Where am I going to throw it?
Yeah.
Am I going to break it? So yeah, that was a good moment. But it's a frustrating moment for Kristen because she did all this stuff to become Nicole, and Brady's basically like, it's not going to happen.
No.
Cutting it off right there.
Yeah.
He said, my relationship with my brother is really fragile right now.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not willing to cross that line.
Yeah.
I love that part. I loved when Brady said
I
that.
really admired that.
And I feel like though Kristen should have thought about this and really not have jumped the gun on like, let me tear it off with Eric and da-da-da-da. More of a, I'm going to find ways to just kind of play both so that then I can eventually just skew to Brady. I think
she's rushing things.
She
That's
is rushing
the problem.
things. Yeah.
She's rushing things,
Yeah.
and it's reading false for Eric and for Brady.
And there's definitely red flags going on between it. So I don't think this is going to last much longer. I'm going to call it by like next couple of weeks.
You think
Yeah.
so?
I don't know. It's just because I saw Brady and he was just looking at Kristen, when she left, and he was just the Bill's returning. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting how they play it out.
I love that moment after it's a tornado in the room, and then she just sits down, and you just see her collect. Like all that energy that she had thrown out, you just saw go.
Mm-hmm.
And she was refocusing. It was almost like a robot, like just
Reprogramming
itself.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I'm not giving up.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That was scary.
It was,
It was a great moment. Though.
yeah,
It was
it
a
was a
great
good
moment.
moment.
Marlon Wallace is killing me with his commentary today. So he said, "Is Kristen not interested in killing Marlena anymore?" Because remember, Kristen was all, but that's when she was obsessed with John. Now she's obsessed with Brady.
Yes.
And then Chad Marks says, and I thought the same thing. The poor housekeeping department. I thought the same thing. I was like, who's gonna clean up this room?
Yeah. Someone's gonna get charged for it.
Someone's going to get in trouble because there was a lot that happened. Scott Holston says, Kristen is getting sloppy. Villains always get sloppy when their plans are working.
When they aren't working.
When they are working.
Oh, they start to just
Get a little sloppy.
They let go a little bit because
Yeah.
they feel like they're ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, I see that.
That's a good
That
point.
makes sense. All right. Well, before we move, no, we're moving on. Sorry.
We're moving on. Let's move on.
Sure. Sorry. I thought it was something else, but I scrolled down and not there yet.
Haley, JJ, Trip, Rory. I love Rory.
Oh, me too.
Oh my God, Jack, Jennifer, Claire, Marlena, and then we already did Jack and Julie. So
I love the fact that they brought Rory back just for this. I love the zaniness of his character. He reminds me of Bart. Who used to be Stefano's right-hand man.
Yep.
Just adding that extra layer of, like, just comedy sometimes. Because, like, when everyone kept coming after him, after he got released and was supposed to get the new passports, and he was just laying on the bench.
That's the best.
And then Sierra came, and he was like, oh, hey, Sierra, what's up? You know, I mean, like, I'm still single. I mean, yeah, whatever. And then she's just like, dude, like, you reek. And it was such a honest, like, in character moment that it was fun.
It was
fun.
Yeah.
So I just like that they brought him back for this. So kudos to that.
Kudos. So it starts off with Haley and JJ and Trip, and they're just kind of like, what are we gonna do? We haven't heard from Rory. Like, what's going on? And JJ's phone rings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he answers it, thinking it's his mom, and it's evil Jack.
Yes.
Yeah.
On the other end.
Giving that ultimatum of, like, come back with Haley or Jennifer goes to jail.
That was tough. Yeah, their phone conversation, and he came back. But JJ played Jack too, so
Ooh, when he
loved
came
it.
back, when he came back and was like, all right, I'm back. And then Jack was like, where's Haley? And he's like, you'll get Haley or I'll tell you everything once you get my mom off. And then he got his mom off with
No prejudice was the term.
or that.
Right. Which I hadn't heard before. Like, oh, this is cool. I'm learning something.
They said that, and I heard no progressive. So I don't know what I was thinking. And so I was like, oh, this is his cop playing in. And then once everything was clear, he goes, all right, tell me where Haley is. And he goes, go to hell. I was like,
Oh.
oh.
Yes.
And he meant it.
Yes.
And then Jack giving no qualms about what he was about to do.
Yeah.
He arrests JJ. And Jennifer's like, what the hell's your problem?
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Jennifer almost wanted to give him another whack over the head with her laptop.
Well, had she had one.
Yeah. I
No
think
question.
I think Jennifer's getting a little frustrated with this Jack. And
Oh, I'd be frustrated too.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I honestly think that Jack is having an internal struggle that we don't know about. I think he's remembering who he really is.
Oh, yeah. Well,
And
Jennifer said as much. She
Yeah.
said those memories are coming back,
Yeah.
and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think he's struggling not to go there. But I think internally, like when he does things, I think really in the back of his mind, he's like,
This isn't right.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was struggling too with JJ a little bit towards
Mm-hmm.
the end of it, just thinking, okay, I shouldn't be doing this, but I have to.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
He's had a connection with JJ from the
From the
get-go,
beginning.
which has been great.
And I think that with everything that's happened, it's definitely rocked both of their worlds.
Yeah.
So, Jill Cotter says, Jack is so awful. I can't believe the manipulation.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's hard to watch a little bit because
It
he's
is.
surprising me.
Yeah. You don't know what his next move is.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm wondering, okay, is this Jack or is this Eve? I feel like
Mhm.
Eve is a little brainwashing Jack a little bit.
Well, you know what they say, people can bring out the best in you or the worst in you.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
Eve brings out that
He brings
dark,
out the worst in you.
Yeah.
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 Mm.
It's going to be interesting with the arrest, JJ and Jell, how that's all going to play out too. But then with Haley and Trip, there's chemistry there. Oh boy. Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like there's something there, but listen, you guys know how I am. You know I'm nothing but a fan with open arms. However, the back and forth between JJ and Trip and this whole getting to Canada and all this kind of stuff, I'm just like, like, Haley, girl, you're gonna have to put your big panties on and just like head up to Canada yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like she either needs JJ or Trip by her side. It's like she just can't do it quite on her own.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I know she, loves JJ, but towards the end, I think Trip and her and Haley kind of had a moment a little bit together
think
too.
so?
I don't know. Towards the end.
Well, yeah, I think when they were sitting on the bed and he was just kind of comforting her, and that's when Crazy Claire was looking in the window like,
Claire.
Yeah. For the podcast listeners, Tony is giving Crazy Claire looks into the camera right now, peering through the very dirty, smudgy windows.
And the inner monologue that was
which
happening.
was brilliant. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Yeah. But yeah, I just I don't know. We can move on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of Claire.
Speaking of Crazy Claire, her scene with Marlena, which was hysterical because Marlena goes to visit.
Yes.
And Claire's immediately like, did Sierra send you?
Right.
She's completely paranoid.
And
completely paranoid.
And Marlena's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, I'm just bringing over some cookies.
Yeah.
And then I was almost like, did I miss something? Because I don't think Sierra, I was like, oh, she's just cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And she was going through it because she hadn't heard from Trip. And then when she finally heard from Trip and he was like, oh, I'm on some ISA business and I'm going to be away for a couple of days. And then the sigh of relief. And she was just about to tell Marlena that she set the fire.
Yes, yeah. I think if anyone could get out of Claire, it's definitely Marlena. Marlena just has that, personality. And she almost did it. And then the ringtone, though, that
there
also,
you go. I mean,
that was huge.
That was the purpose for that whole scene.
Yeah. And then for Marlena to go, that ringtone.
Mm-hmm. And the memory of Ben.
Different,
the music.
There's
didn't say.
And even Marlena comments on it. She's like, that is a unusual ringtone. She's like, yeah, so everyone knows it's my phone. And Claire just gave herself away.
Yeah, and it's because she created it.
Yeah.
First of all,
original song.
Genius. Like, if anybody wants to create a ringtone for me, I'm down.
Yeah. Someone's going to implicate you in a crime. So just don't create any crimes, Tony.
No,
We've had this conversation.
I'm not trying to commit no crimes. I'm just saying. But yeah, I thought it was that moment was great. And then when Claire flipped the script and was like, "Oh, Trip's fine, everything's fine. Now I have to go work for him." And then Marlene was like, "Excuse me."
She's like,
"Weren't you gonna tell
but
me
you were gonna tell me something."
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh yeah, the cookies. I don't eat those cookies anymore." And Marlena's face was literally like,
that's Marlena right there, Claire. I
loved it. She called her.
Listen, girl, I am Dr. Marlena Evans. That was not what you were going to say. And I was like, she's on to her.
Yeah.
The wheels are turning. Who I most feel for is Ben.
Oh, Ben. Yeah, that's all we have to say. Oh,
yeah.
Ben.
I know.
I feel for him.
Let's get into that. Claire, Eve, Rory, Ben, Sierra. So Ben is really haunted by this music.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying so hard to remember, why is it so familiar? Why is it so familiar? And Sierra telling him, in regards to Claire, just drop it.
Yeah.
It's not Claire. She's had her moments, but she would never, ever try to kill me.
I love the moment when Sierra was like, so what did this music sound like? And he's like, and Claire, Sierra's like, you're not really much of a singer.
She's like, oh.
But you know what it reminded me of?
Tone deaf. No, she said, oh, baby, you're tone deaf.
You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of Day of Days, when I was interviewing Eric and Nadia, and I wanted to play a game with them called Name That Tune. And so I had cards with songs on them, and so I would have like Salt and Pepper's, TLC's No Scrubs. And I was like do 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 do, and they both looked at me like,
what are you doing?
Is it? But in your mind, you can hear it.
Oh,
like you can hear it. Like I can hear. No, I don't want no. But it comes out do 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 do, and you're like,
It's just lost in translation.
Yeah,
That's right.
it is. Go and watch that interview, by the way.
It's a great interview. It's a great
I have
interview.
to watch that now.
Yeah, it was a good one. But the look on his face when Claire's phone rang,
Right.
Yeah.
it was like all the life sucked out of him, and it was replaced with rage of like, it's this bitch. Like, that's what I
yes.
felt like
It
he
was-
said internally.
You know, Robert Scott Wilson, that moment is so hard to play as an actor because you have to express everything and not push it, not make it look cheesy, not do that like it's you kind of
Yeah.
expression. And he was so still, and you saw confirmation where he kind of knew that maybe it was Claire. Disbelief, like, I don't want to believe this, but I have to.
Yeah.
And okay, I'm gonna come get you now.
You saw like
I'm gonna come get you.
yeah, it was good. He like looked down and you saw like his eyes make contact with her, and then it was good the way he played it.
But
Yeah.
it wasn't. I didn't feel like I'm gonna come get you to hurt you. It was, you know, especially after Eve coming up to them and to Sierra and to Ben, and
Yeah.
Eve just laying into him and
Yeah.
saying, you know, now that I'm commissioner, I'm going to make it my top priority to avenge my daughter's death. And I'm like, oh my God. So this is his literally, he's trying to save his own life.
Yeah.
Yeah, and well, and the fact that basically Claire called Eve and was like, "If you're gonna put it on Ben,
Do
now
it
would be
now."
the time to
Yeah.
do it." And it's like, you tried it. How dare you?
And I love
Yeah.
that moment when Eve's listening to the message and she's like, not today,
Not today.
Claire.
No.
No, the best,
Not today, Claire.
Another good moment with Eve, which also shows her inexperience as a police officer, as commissioner, when Rory's like, "So I can just go?"
Don't I need to sign something?
And she's like, "Get out of here! Just
I don't
go."
know.
I was like, Rory, if you don't call somebody to make sure you're in the clear so that you don't get brought back,
That was hysterical.
That was yeah.
that was hilarious. I was like, he was like, don't I need to sign something
Yeah.
or do something? I can just leave.
Oh, Rory.
It's hilarious.
So Eve is looking for Claire. Claire has now bumped into Rory
Yes.
and the passports.
Oh, that whole scene. Crazy Claire comes back again. She flipped the switch, and then she's like, wait a second. Now she realizes Tripp lied to her. And then she's like, wait, he's going off with Haley. And then she's like, oh, I could take the load off of you. Don't worry. Oh, that scene. Yeah.
That was a
good scene.
great moment.
I saw in her eyes, too. I was like, oh, Claire. Oh, and she played it so cool. She's like, what? Really?
Well, and then Rory saying, well, I thought you knew the story. She's
Yeah.
like, well, I do, but, you know, it keeps changing. It
Yeah,
just
and
keeps
it keeps changing. I don't know.
And then when she found out they were on Smith Island,
Oh.
it's like, okay, so now we know. She's taking the passport. She's going to head to Smith Island, and she's going to burn it down. She's going to burn it down.
Oh gosh, okay. What do you guys think about this? So with Ben, because he is, I feel like at the point he's kind of desperate now because he wants to find Claire. I mean, he almost he hurt Rory, strangled him. Do you think he's going to go back to his old ways to try to get the truth to prove himself that he wasn't guilty of this?
Well, I don't think he tried to strangle him. I mean, he grabbed him by his shirt.
Yeah, grabbed
and,
him by his shirt. Yeah.
Certainly insinuated that he had the capacity to hurt him.
Yeah.
But I think that was the only card he was able to play because Rory wasn't going to give anything up in regards to Claire.
Yeah.
And so Ben had to do what he had to do. And it was a fine line. I don't think he crossed it, though. If Rory wanted to believe that he was going to be strangled by the necktie killer, then so be it. But that was never Ben's intentions. Yeah. It's like, well, let's just scare him a little bit. Because guess what? There are people in trouble here. This girl needs to be stopped because something bad is about to go down.
Yeah.
I know. I know. So Ben goes running after Claire. Claire goes running. Ben goes running after Claire. Now Sierra has gone after Eve. Like, you need to just leave Ben alone and he's innocent. Then Sierra goes to look for Ben and finds Rory. And Rory says, oh my God, you're not going to believe it. The necktie killer just threatened to kill me. And then Sierra is left with, where are you, Ben? And then
And then it cuts to
Claire.
in the inner
peeking
monologue.
through the dirty windows.
Look at them. They've been at it all this. Well, first of all, I thought she was nosy. Because when Rory dropped the passports, first of all, who picks up anyone's passport and go, oh, passports, what? Trip? But I was like, you little nosy little like you should have just picked up the passports and just handed it back to him. But then at the cabin, she's looking in and like, oh look, they've been playing you all along, and she's it's just like that like crazy kind of a look as she's like talking.
The chips in her head.
Yeah,
like, blick, blick,
and she's a little arsonist because why is it that whenever she gets mad, she wants to like burn stuff up?
She just keeps digging herself deeper and deeper. When she lit the firewood, I was like, oh, Claire.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
And as she was watching the flames, there was a smile. Did you see just that flicker? As soon as she saw the fire, there was a flicker of a smile. And then she, it stopped. And I thought, oh, my God, she
scares me.
Yeah,
she's cray-cray.
She's a pyromaniac.
Yeah.
She's a pyromaniac. And so I'm thinking, here's my fear. Ben's going to get there. She's going to be gone.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to get framed for this.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
Unless...
Yeah.
I don't know how
Ben saves them. Ben tries... I think he's going to save Trip and Haley. But then again, it's going to come back on him. That
what
he
was
got
he
framed.
doing there? Yes.
Exactly. And then that would be perfect because Eve might try to plant the lighter then on Ben too during that time.
I forgot about the lighter. That's why they were meeting up in the first place. And Eve's like, look, I need the lighter.
Because Eve was like, listen, if I'm going to do this, I need the lighter. And then, wait. Can we talk about this yet? I'll wait.
Okay.
I'll wait.
Okay.
I'll wait.
All right.
I'll wait. You know what I'm going to do?
I think so.
Wait.
Okay.
So now, like, the cabin's being burnt up.
Yeah. I mean, the phone, the lighter, everything's got to come together at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So, we'll see.
I'm nervous for Ben.
I know.
I love Ben.
Because literally, it's going to be his word against hers.
Yeah.
And who's going to believe him besides Sierra?
Mm-hmm.
So.
And Claire has Eve to back her up.
Right, exactly.
So, yeah. It's going to be messy.
So do you think Days knew ahead of time that this was going to be a short week, so they planned out these 3 episodes on purpose to end this way?
I think they kind of have to because
it's perfect.
Yeah, because when you think about it, they have to have the schedule of like holidays and like when the French Open is happening
and when
all
they're going
this
to
kind
get
of
preempted.
Stuff. Yeah, and so they have to kind of plan accordingly. I feel like
perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect Wednesday.
I think they always film like 2 or 3 months in advance anyway, so they know the schedule too.
6
Oh,
months.
6 months.
Yeah, they're the ones that are the furthest out.
Yes.
Oh.
Everyone else is about 2 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Days is 6.
Wow.
Yeah. So they would be, what month is this? June, July, August, September, October, November, December. They're already probably at Christmas.
They're getting ready for Christmas.
Yeah.
They're all wearing their sweater dresses and overcoats in like 90-degree weather.
Yeah. Hilarious.
So I think that wraps it up for the large segments.
For the huge storylines.
For the big storylines.
Yeah. Well, let's go into some fun little moment here. I don't know how I was going to transition that. Here's some news from AfterBuzz TV. We just wanted to say thank you for making us the ESPN of TV talk. For us to continue to grow, though, we need your help. If you're on YouTube right now, which most likely you are because you are seeing our lovely faces, make sure you hit the subscribe button. And if you're listening on iTunes, hello iTunes folks, please give us 5 stars and also make a comment. We love to hear what you like about us, what you don't like about us, but mainly what you like about us. But no matter where you are, leave us a comment so you can get involved in the conversation. Being a part of AfterBuzz TV has meant so much to all of us, and we truly appreciate you supporting us and what we love to do. So don't forget to tell your friends, tell other Days people to go and subscribe to AfterBuzz TV Drama, so that way when our show pops up, it's always an instant reminder for you to tune in and go into our chat. Because even right now, we have 140 people watching us and chatting among themselves, including James Lott Jr.
Hey, James!
James Lott Jr. is our former co-host.
Ding, ding.
Well, longtime supporter. So thank you guys. Make sure you tell everyone and keep enjoying our shows.
And that has been from the kind folks at AfterBuzz TV.
Ah!
Okay, little itty bitty tidbits.
Yes.
Sonny, Will, John, Marlena, man.
So what I was gonna
What were you
say
gonna say?
when Sonny walked in to Eve's
Eve.
office
Woo!
and was basically like, "You better give Dr. Ralph this book, or I'm gonna kill
I've
you."
never
Yeah.
heard him talk like, well,
Me-
except maybe to Leo. There
Yeah.
were moments where, like, okay, he could probably strangle Leo right
But
now.
there was a moment where I wanted to go, where I had two feelings. One, I was like, "Work, Miss Sonny, you better come in
Yes.
there," and then I was like, "Calm down, girl. Let's not kill. Okay, you just got off of the prison
Yeah.
road. Let's
We'll need you right now.
Yeah.
Don't get hauled to jail for
Yeah.
assaulting Eve.
Exactly. Oh, but Will's, days to live prognosis, and then the fact that he wants to work on an article.
Well, Jen's case, he's like, if this is going to be the last article I can work on, I want it to be my family's.
Mhm.
So he kept begging Son. He's like, please give me my laptop. Go home and give me my laptop.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And then that he's nervous and scared when he looks at Marlena and goes, "Call my mom and dad." And it's like,
Yeah.
oh. And even Marlena was trying to keep it together, but she was just like, I'm going to make sure I call him as soon as. And I was just like, keep
Yeah.
it together, girl. Keep it together.
It was so
you are
beautifully
Dr.
played.
Marlena Evans. You keep it together, girl.
Yes, it was so beautifully played.
Yeah,
because
it really was.
Yeah.
She didn't know walking in what was going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she was like, I saw your name on the over list. Why didn't Kayla call? I'm going to have to talk to Kayla.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And then Will told her, I have days left, days on days, ha. I have days left. And you saw Dr. Marlena Evans crack.
Mm-hmm.
The tears well up. You see her completely rattled. And then, like you guys said, she just kicked it in of, yeah, I'll call your mom. Everything will get taken care of. And in the meantime, John is having this conversation with Sonny. And he's being told about what's going on. And, and that he did he say that Eve knows something? Or John said to Sonny, I'm not positive, but I know who might have the information. How did Sonny find out that Eve?
From John.
He did end up telling
John.
Sonny that.
Yeah, John
It's
told
not
him.
confirmed, but that's his lead.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's when Sonny raced out.
Yep.
And then Marlena calling Sammy. That's when she started breaking down a little bit more. Like,
Yes.
Sammy, please give us a call. I don't have much time, but this
Yes.
is important.
And Sammy is about to hit Salem
I
like a
can't wait.
whirlwind,
I'm
honey.
excited for
I
Sammy
love
to be
me my
back.
Sammy.
Because Sammy is extra. So I can only imagine her busting into University Hospital going, "Where's Will?" And then busting in and going, "Will." And then camera cuts
That was
off.
very good.
That was good.
That was very
Thank you.
good.
Thank
Allison
you.
Sweeney impersonation. That was awesome.
It's just me practicing for my upcoming role as Terrence on the hit NBC soap opera Days of Our Lives. It's going to happen. I'm speaking it into
and
existence.
the daytime Emmy goes to.
Can you imagine?
Oh.
Side note, can we just take a moment for this? Can you imagine if, like, one day I won a daytime Emmy
I
award?
don't think Chelsie knows the backstory.
Okay,
don't.
you
Of
don't.
Terrence.
Okay,
So
okay.
let's
So,
fill her in.
Side note, y'all know, but I'm gonna tell. Okay, so I've been watching Days since I was 14, and I have been pursuing acting since I was 13, and I always told myself that I was going to have a role on Days of Our Lives. And since I was 18, I used to always figure out how I can put myself into the show. Cut to me doing DISHIN Days. Do you remember Maxine,
Yes. Oh,
the nurse?
okay, yes. The nurse.
From like a few years ago.
Yes, yeah.
So back when she was on, she was fun, she was sassy, she was witty, and I was like, I could play her son. And I remember the first time I met her was at Day of Days, and she looked at me and she was like, oh, my son. And so forever, I've done this huge campaign of #MaxineSon. And then maybe like a few months ago, I had a dream that I got the role of Days, and the character's name was Terrence. So
It's happened. He's predicting the future.
I'm just saying. So now I'm thinking how wonderful and full circle it will be for us to be at the daytime Emmys, and it goes, I can't do younger actor because I'm not that young anymore. But outstanding like supporting actor or lead actor. I mean, I'm fine with supporting. Great if it's leading. Goes to Toni Moore from Days of Our Lives.
That just sounds good, doesn't it? Yeah.
Like, yeah, I would literally sit in my seat and go, "Oh my God!"
You need to replay this.
Well, this is the moment here.
Oh my gosh! I'm gonna pull a Susan Lucci. Thank you.
Autograph right here.
Thank you, everyone. I can't believe this. It's come full circle. And I'll save my speech for the rest.
That's awesome. So now you know.
Now I know. Now I have the backstory.
Yes.
Oh,
Let's see who in the
funny.
chat is probably like, oh, there's a lot of hashtag Terrence, hashtag Maxine Sun. Make it happen, NBC. Yes, it would be amazing, Tony. A dream, a simple. Oh, that might be shade, Marlon. Maxine, I think Tony should be the new transgender Maxine Sun. I'm down for it.
Go for it.
Listen, I'm here for it. Marlon said Tony interviewed Ron on the red carpet and planted the seed.
He planted it.
I sure
Shameless.
did. Shot my shot. Shot my shot. All right, so that's it. That's enough
so
for Tony.
awesome.
Yeah. James Lott Jr. went, "Oh, Tony, girl, you know I'm trying to get on this show, girl."
Oh, I think that kind of segues into shooting the shot. Rafe, Lonnie, Eli.
Oh,
that whole scene.
okay. We've asked this before, but Chelsea's here, so we can ask again. Raise your hand if you are team Lonnie and Eli. Raise your hand if you are team Lonnie and Rafe.
Definitely.
I know there's something.
So podcast.
Okay, so
everyone's raising our hands.
So to be honest, like, okay, I'm halfway because I do like Lonnie and Eli.
I do too.
But then when Rafe came in and was like, "I got the cast off or the sling off,"
so good.
And then like he was like, "See what I can do," and gave her a twirl. And then when Eli came in and broke up with her, and then she was having that moment and hugged him, and then like they talked, and then she kissed. I was like,
and she kissed him.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know, I could be down for this.
After her breakup too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who's right? Is there something really wrong with Lonnie, like emotionally? Or because when she was trying to explain it to Eli, she said, it's insulting that you would think I'm trying to replace our child.
But Eli's like, this is not our David. And I think there's a part of her that knows that, but I think there's a part of her that's like, yes, I get to give the love that I wanted to give to a child to this child. And I think that's where the attachment comes from because, hearing that the baby's name is David and it's about the same age as David would have been. I think there is a thing where you're just like, you're holding on to something. You know what I mean? It's kind of like with Lexi and baby Zach. But baby Zach was actually Hope's.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
She had that emotional attachment
Connection to it, yeah.
So she had a hard time letting it go. Yeah, definitely the same situation here.
Yeah.
And I think too, like with Rafe, because he's been there, I think that's another thing why she is just latching on more to him because Eli hasn't.
Eli breaking up with her. That's harsh.
That was, yeah. I think that instead of a breakup, it should have just been, you need to think about this because there's something in this that's not right. And I love you enough to give you your space to think about this. But I think he's reached a moment of frustration of, you're still here. You're still taking care of this baby.
Yeah.
You still want to take care of the baby.
She said, I'm just going to give it a couple more days because I don't want David to feel like I abandoned him. And that's when he was like, you know what?
That was
fine.
Yeah.
But you know what? I also kind of understood where she was coming from. Like, now I need to show Rafe the routine. And now and then kind of wean off. And instead of being a star, be more of a guest star. So that it's an easy transition.
I agree.
It was valid at the same time. she played it so beautifully. You could see there was a desperation to it.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't of, you know what, there needs to be a transition period. What's the big deal?
Mm-hmm.
There was a desperation to it.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a little scary. It's like, oh.
I don't think it's going to be so easy for her to try to take the back seat with the baby.
Well, that's why she
yeah.
lunged for Rafe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's her trying to stay attached to the situation. And if it means, being attached to Rafe, then that means she's attached to David.
Mm-hmm.
She's using Rafe. Do you think she's using him? She's using him.
For the baby.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
That could be. That's a good point.
But there is a chemistry between the two.
Well, that kiss.
So
yeah.
I think I think I don't think she's using him for
I don't
the
think
baby.
she's consciously using him.
I think she just has an attachment to the baby.
I think she's hurt and she's lashing out.
Now, Me World 2 has no qualms because she's been mourning that baby since last summer. Time's up.
Yeah.
You really don't get over the loss of a child. We saw that with Hope
Yeah,
and Zach.
Yeah.
exactly.
So there's that.
I think that's it for Rafe, Lonnie, and Eli.
Mhm.
So we had 2 seconds of Gabby and Stefan. The one I said non-sexual encounter that they've had in like 2 months.
I think they both like each other. I think that Gabby thinks she's in control of this plan and she's really not because her emotions are gonna become involved.
Well, especially towards the end, like when he walks away, he's like, okay, we have a mutual understanding. It was just a one-night thing. That's it. And then she's like, no, I played it so well.
Yes, well done.
Well done.
Well done. I played it perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
So there was that moment.
I mean, we're still Team Stabby.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think, Chelsea? Do you like the two of them together? Because
Or do you prefer Chloe and?
I don't like Chloe and
Stefan?
I like
No?
Gabby and Stefan, definitely.
And it's the way Camila is now playing Gabby that makes me like Gabby more, but also likes her with Stefan. Like Gabby is now this fiery, take charge. She's like a Kate.
she's fearless.
She's an upcoming Kate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, we were talking before the show, the teen scenes, like we grew up with like
Yes.
Sean and Belle and Chloe, and then
Yes.
now it's like Sierra. It's kind of like in years to come, Gabby will be the Kate, and we'll always kind of go, she reminds me of Kate.
Yeah,
Kind of
I
like
can
how
see
we're
that.
saying Claire reminds us of Sammy.
Sammy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's like the next generation of the characters that are there.
Yeah.
I love it.
Love it, love it, love it. All
Are
right.
you liking it? Who do you like? Stabby?
I really liked Chloe and Stefan.
Did you
for
really?
a long time. But then Chloe started to bug a little bit. and since I was already on the borderline,
Mm-hmm.
I'm now like Stabby. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Go
I
for
hear
it.
I hear you.
That's it, you guys,
All
for the
right.
week, right?
That's it for the week.
So now it's time for our favorite part of the show, and that's our segments.
That's right. And we're going to start with mine, which is Tony's official 3 Snaps Award. Okay, now listen. I had a little bit of trouble with the 3 Snaps Award because there were people that I wanted to give it to. I wanted to give it to Julie for her snappy little comment to Jack.
Yes.
I wanted to give it to Marlena for her look like, bitch, I don't believe you about these cookies. Like, you're not gonna, I'm Dr. Marlena Evans. No. And then I realized the person who I was snapping all over the place for was Crazy Claire.
Yeah,
Let
Claire.
me tell you,
Look at that
you don't
picture.
cross Crazy Claire.
Podcast listeners, I wish you could see this photo. Make sure and go on YouTube.
Because Crazy Claire will come in at any moment where she feels like she's not getting her way. And Crazy Claire, at the end of this week, snapped so hard that she said, oh, y'all want to be together? I'm burning everything up. Y'all ain't gonna fool me. So Olivia Rose Keegan, Claire Brady. Is it Brady? Yeah, Claire
Yes.
Brady.
Yes.
You get Tony's official 3 Snaps Award. Oh, snap. All right, you got to give it to the Crazy because she's playing it good. She is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
And now it's time for...
Welcome to our crazy show, Chelsea.
Oh, I love it.
Designer Days.
So, it was a toss-up. I was going to give it to Dr. Marlena Evans because she had a fierce suede, like camel-colored jacket
I love that
I
jacket.
loved. But you know what? I decided to go with this casual little hoodie that Haley wore, Miss Thea. And I think this is probably the second week in a row she might have gotten Designer Days. So this is a cropped hoodie by BP. I actually found it on NordstromsRack.com. Okay,
No.
so it's retail priced for $49. It's available in small to XL for $7.95. It is
love
on
that hoodie.
sale.
And I love that color.
NordstromsRack.com. So this is in a pink. They had it in gray, but I think the gray is sold out. It is a cropped hem that makes the casual favorite feel a bit more fashion forward.
Oh.
It is drawstring hood, long sleeves with ribbed cuffs and hem. And I think it's the hem at the bottom that dresses it up a
Yeah.
little bit. So Designer Days goes to Miss Haley. Yay!
That's a good one.
I like it. You can either dress up or dress it down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I love in our chat is that Me World does her own segment.
Does she?
And it's called the OSHIT Moment of the Week. And it goes to Ben Here's Claire's ringtone. And then she gives her own self a oh shiz. Thank you. So actually, for that, Me World, you get my 3 Snaps
There
Award
you
for
go.
creating your own segment in the chat room.
That's
You better
awesome.
do it, girl. I'm not mad at you at all. All right.
And now it's time for some news and gossip.
Woohoo!
AfterBuzz TV News.
Oh, should I take it away?
Take it away, Mr. Tony.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if we haven't told you enough, we gonna tell you again. At the end of this month on June 29th, I will be in Washington, D.C. hosting Daytime Pride 2019, along with some of your favorite soap actors. We have Freddie Smith, Van Hanses, Jake Silberman, Greg Rickard, Cameron Grimes, and Ryan Carnes, all attending this event hosted by me, along with event photographer Brad E. Young. So make sure you guys, if you haven't already, purchase a ticket, come out and meet all of us. I would love to meet DISHIN Days fans in Washington, D.C. You can go to SpectrumCelebrityEvents.com. Again, that's SpectrumCelebrityEvents.com and get your tickets ASAP and meet me June 29th in Washington, D.C.
And also, proceeds from the event will benefit True Colors United,
Yes.
which is an organization that assists homeless LGBTQ youth.
Yes.
So this is all for a great cause,
It
you guys.
is.
Okay.
And make sure you keep up with them. They're going to have more events happening, and all the proceeds will go to benefit a charity. So make sure you connect with these gentlemen. They're doing a great job.
We are going to talk a little bit about Kate Mansi. Let's talk a little bit about Kate Mansi.
Going to Kate Mansi?
Let's just go to Kate Mansi.
Okay. Well, Kate Mansi announced this week that she is now engaged. Kate Mansi has gotten engaged to her longtime boyfriend Blake last week, and she snapped this photo of her. It is not the middle finger, it's her ring finger. So congratulations, Kate and Blake, on your engagement. Congratulations on that. And also, congratulations goes out to Robert Scott Wilson for his exciting new project that he has been talking about. He spoke about it exclusively with Miss Tami Goveia on the red carpet of the Daytime Emmys. So for the lowdown, make sure you check out that interview where he talks all about this exciting new project. I think he may be a producer on it and acting in it as
Co-creator,
well.
yeah. He's a busy bee. He's got his fingers in a lot of pies on that project.
Yes,
and
he
he's
does.
super proud of it and excited. So
Yes.
we'll have to get him on the show to promote it. Right?
Yes,
Oh, I
of
would
course.
love
Right, sinners?
Of course. Are we doing the summer promo?
Yeah, we can do a summer promo. I don't like to look at these promos because I like the element of surprise.
Mm-hmm.
So when I said to Tony, for news and gossip, Brandon Beamer's coming back, he's like, girl, there's like a million people coming back
Yeah.
for summer. So I was like, fine, I'll watch the promo. And so, man, returning, Teo.
Yes.
Teo, Leanne Hunley, Christy Clark, Brandon Beamer, Allison Sweeney, of course, Martha Madison, and Brian DiTillo.
Yes.
Yes.
Coming back for the summer.
Yes. Now, for the most part, we know that it's finally the tribute episode
Yes.
to Peggy McKay,
Oh, yeah.
who passed earlier this year.
Yeah, earlier this year.
So it's that episode finally that we get to see. But I think there's gonna be some rockle stuff
I'll
gonna happen
think
in
so.
Salem.
Of course.
I
Yeah.
think so,
Yeah.
especially with Carrie and Rafe.
If you guys have not seen the summer preview, get your entire life and
Abe's
watch
reaction.
it. Yeah. Yeah. Listen, we all know that history.
Oh, and Xander. Oh man, I can't wait for the summer.
I'm
Listen,
I
excited.
cannot
let's just say
wait.
the summer is about to heat up
Yes.
on days.
Emmett Bell and Sean returning too.
Yes.
I'm so excited
Oh,
for
those
that.
are your two favorite
Those
characters.
are my two favorite characters. I was so excited when I saw in the promo. I'm like, yay.
Why do you like them so much?
Gosh, I don't know. I just loved it. First when Sean Brady was kind of like the bad boy at Salem, and then that's when Belle was kind of like the goody two shoes. And I loved it. My favorite was during the summer when they're all on that tropical island together. Do you guys remember that?
Yes.
Yeah, that was my favorite story plot.
Yeah, that was that New Salem? New Salem? Where they
I
were...
think so.
Oh, no, wait. No, that was something else.
No, they were.
Not the killing one, but like they were on something.
They were on an island. Puerto
Yes.
Rico. They're in Puerto Rico.
Yes. I remember that
That's
one.
great.
Yeah.
So do we have time for some calls?
We have time for a few phone calls.
Yeah, so if you want to make a call to us, number's 424-354-8302, and we'll take a few calls. It's been a while.
It has been a while. So we want to chit chat with some of you. Chelsea, how has the show been for you today so far?
It's been exciting. You guys have such a fun vibe. This is my second show here at AfterBuzz, and I'm like, this is like a party in here. I love it.
It is always a party in here, especially when it comes to Days of Our Lives.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, is there anyone that you would like to meet and you haven't met yet?
Awesome.
Well, definitely who plays Ben, Robert. I would love to meet him.
Robert Scott Wilson?
He's a gem. Okay, we have a caller on the line. Caller, what is your name and where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Dwight from Louisville again.
Hey, Dwight, how are you?
I'm fine.
Make sure you turn down your TV in the back.
Okay.
So what did you think of this week of days? Because I know you have sent us many messages and many tweets and many thoughts and many prayers to Will. So we know that you are all about that storyline. What did you think about what happened this week with Will and Sonny?
I thought it was a great week for them because they're trying very hard to give him his miracle cure.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing I'm excited about is he fought long and hard for him to have the best cure he can have to save his life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
And
oh, go ahead.
I have something to share
Okay.
with you guys.
Okay.
Did you see the DOL app?
We have not seen the dual app, but from what I have heard, Mr. Chandler Massey gave you a shout out on there.
Yeah, he did. I was excited about it.
Yeah, tell us about it. What exactly did he say? Because Chandler is an amazing guy. Shout out to Chandler. But what did he say?
He did a questionnaire for storyline suggestions, and he picked the best one, and it was the nickname I called him,
And what's his nickname?
Chantilly Blue.
That is
Love
awesome.
it. Congratulations on that. I know that you are one of the biggest Chandler Massey, Will Horton fans that I have come across. And I'm glad that he was able to see your messages and also give you a shout out on the app. So I'm very happy and excited for you about that. That's amazing.
Congratulations, Dwight. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
He said that it's like he liked the model part
The model part?
where he was in the video. He said there was where he played where he would talk about Votto and said Chantilly Blue was walking around. He would say Chantilly Blue and and then.
Well, we're all gonna have
that
to.
name.
We're all gonna have to go on the Dual app
and check it out.
this out because It's always an amazing feeling when you get recognized by one of the cast members.
Yeah.
I mean, I still remember when I was, going to like the fan events and stuff, And I'll never forget this. Nadia Bjorlin looked at me and she was like, "Oh, hey, Tony." And I was like, "What? She knows my name." I geeked out a little bit. Now it's weird because, like, I've known them forever.
Yeah.
But in that moment, I was just like, "Oh, my gosh, she knows my name. Oh, my gosh, she's so beautiful."
I know.
I loved it. Well, thanks, Dwight, for calling in, and congratulations on your news. That's amazing. And keep, those prayers up for Will, and we know that you're watching and that you're supporting it, and we're saying a prayer with you.
I have one more thing to say.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get Days of Our Lives to come to Louisville for a fan event.
Okay. We're going to put that out there.
I wanted to be at the KFC Yum Center because I actually want to go meet the people.
Okay.
That's a great location. It's
That's
a beautiful,
a good one.
Yeah, it's a beautiful town.
So any of the organizers of the events that we plug here on DISHIN Days, if you're listening, Louisville is looking for an event to come to their town.
Make
so
it happen.
wink, wink. All right, we put it out there, Dwight. So now we're just going to keep our fingers crossed.
And I'm keeping my fingers crossed for Chandler Massey to come to Dishing Days. Very soon.
Oh, yes.
Got it.
Yes, we hope he does drop by. He loves us. At least I hope he does.
I know.
So hopefully he'll come by soon.
Thanks, Dwight.
And congratulations that you'll be getting the role of Maxine's son.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. One day it's going to happen. Oh, my gosh, I would celebrate so hard with everyone. I just feel like everyone will be super happy because they've been on this journey with me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I hope it happens. Thanks, Dwight. I
Thank you,
appreciate
Dwight.
that.
We got a few more calls if you guys want to take them.
Awesome.
Okay, perfect. Thanks, Dwight.
Dwight is out.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right, you're on with Dishin Days.
All right, great. Who are you and where are you calling from?
Hey everyone, it's Mike Riley from New York.
Mike.
Oh,
Hello,
Mike
Mr.
Riley.
Mikey.
Oh, how we
is
miss
everyone?
this voice.
What is going on?
Not much. I feel like it's been 50 years.
Yeah, it's been
I
a
just
while.
want to say, yeah, it's been a while. I just couldn't let the episode go without giving massive, massive kudos to whom I feel is the best actor on Days of Our Lives. And
Billy
that is
Flynn is
Suzanne
not on
Rogers.
there anymore. Oh, you said who
No,
was?
Suzanne Rogers.
Yeah,
Thank you,
Yes.
Gordon.
Yeah.
her work has been so impeccably beautiful. Oh,
She has been
Stellar.
amazing. I love that they've put her kind of in this downward spiral with, like, alcohol and just like her just, you can only be strong for so long, and now she's just
Sure.
like, I can't take it. And like she's having a drink, and drunk Maggie is like
is as good as drunk Sarah.
yes.
A different kind of good.
A different kind of good, yes.
I still love the fact that she knocked on Kate's door like, listen here, you hussy. And she didn't say that, but that's how I felt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you trying to get in between me and my man.
It's not even those like super like campy drama scenes that I'm really in love with.
Mhm.
Her interactions with Brady
Mhm.
and how there are a lot of fans that are kind of clapping back because Maggie hadn't had a drink in 30 years and this seems so out of character for her. But that's just how insidious alcoholism
Sure.
is. You know,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
doesn't take much for someone to fall off the wagon.
Yeah.
And just the way she like so easily threw Brady under the butt, like she's acting so out of character,
Yes.
but
Yeah.
she's also like being so defensive yet so vulnerable at the same time. I've always said this about her. She really, really is underutilized
Absolutely.
and the best actor on Days.
Absolutely. I love the fact that she's just not a sidekick to Victor. She's just not a sounding board to Victor. That this storyline is really allowing her as an actress, as a creative, to blossom.
And you forget about her. You forget about her powerhouse performances. Like just go back and rewatch Mickey Horton's death
Yes.
and her scenes during that,
yeah.
or Alice's death. She's a stellar, stunning actor.
Mhm.
That's all I really wanted to say this week.
Oh, thank you, Mike Riley.
you,
And I hope
Mikey.
all is well with you, and we hope to hear from you soon.
Sure. So look, I can keep it somewhat quick. All right, guys, you have
Okay.
have a lovely weekend.
Thank
All
you,
right, you
Mike.
too.
All right, we have another caller. Yes, great.
We are fancy today. We got folks waiting.
We do.
They've been waiting for this segment.
What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Kimberly from Maryland.
Hey,
Kimberly from Maryland. Jeez.
Hi, I just had a comment. I know it's not popular, but I don't want Jack with Jennifer. She had her chance when he came back the last time, and she couldn't make her mind up between him and Daniel. So why does she get him now? They weren't married. They're not married now. So why does she think she just has rights to him?
What? Yes, Kimberly,
Yeah,
you better come on,
it's a
Kimberly
valid
from
point.
Maryland.
Yeah,
that
that's
is
a
a,
good
a
point.
very valid point.
Yeah.
You know,
But I think what it is, Kimberly. I think they're excited to have him back, but they want him to be him, and remember who he is, because he isn't who he is. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand that. I'm
Yeah.
excited to have him back, too. I was
Yeah.
all on the bandwagon with Mark with the hashtag bring Jack back.
Yeah.
But I think if they bring him back, the moment he gets back with Jennifer, I bet you within a month his contract will be up and then he'll be off the show. He'll fall down another
Don't say
elevator
that.
shaft.
Don't say
It's going to be
that.
something stupid.
But
It's like, I don't know. Give him a storyline. Give him something to do, because I love Matthew Ashford.
But
Yeah.
can you imagine if his memory does come back, but he remains like he is now? You know what I mean?
I would like that better.
That could be a
Because then he would be
possibility.
interesting.
there'll be
Yeah.
a conflict. It's
Yeah.
never that. It's never that easy where he's going to get his memories back and then everything will be fine between them.
Right.
So, but I think the reason Jen is all into Jack at this point is because Days is kind of going along the lines of true love stories. You know, you've got Eric and
And
his
the
true
super
love,
couples.
Nicole. Yeah, and Jack and Jen. It's like that one true love that you never get over. And
Yeah.
and Jen was
Yeah, but
Jen was alone. I mean, like you said before, she was with Daniel, and there was confusion, and she didn't know what to do. But she's been on her own for a while. So when Jack came back, I think she was pretty clear about how she felt.
yeah, I just don't like Jen.
You're just not a Jen fan.
I like this Jen.
Yeah.
I like this get in his face and conk him over the head with a laptop Jen.
Yeah.
That's a good Jen.
Yeah.
But you know what? You know who's not feeling it? Kimberly in Maryland.
No. And that is A-okay.
Well, thank you, Kimberly, for calling in and supporting us and giving us your thoughts. And we'll see how this storyline plays out.
Okay, thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you. I like Kimberly from Maryland.
She's awesome.
She was like, listen, this might
I'm
be
done.
unpopular, but I don't like Jen.
I'm done.
No, I like how she states her opinion too,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I feel like everyone always, like you said, goes for like the true loves. She's like, nope, Jen, not doing it.
Well,
not
that's what I
feeling
love
it.
about our fans. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, they're very clear about this is how I feel. I'm not going to apologize for it.
Yeah.
And we give them that space.
And what I also like is that, you know, and we do it here a lot, is that we kind of go with the flow of the show. You know what I mean? We may think, oh, Rafe and Lonnie are great, and then all of a sudden something happen and go, oh, well, we actually like Lonnie and
Yeah.
Eli. That seems really wishy-washy, but like that's the talents that this show has, is that it just kind of makes you kind of go with the flow sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
That was great. Is that it? Any other callers on the line?
I think that's it.
All right, guys, that has been it for this week. Before we take off, Tony, where can the kind folks find you on social media?
Well, if you guys want to stalk all things Tony, make sure you follow me on all social media platforms at Lounging with Tony or my website, loungingwithtony.com.
And Miss Chelsie, where can people find you?
And then on Instagram, you can find me at Chelsie Overocker, and then on Twitter, Chelsie Overocker.
Chelsea, I love that. And you can find our show on Instagram and Facebook at DISHIN Days and on Twitter at _DISHIN Days. And you can find me on Twitter at Tami Goveia and Instagram Tami.Goveia. Thank you, everyone.
And thank you, Chelsea, for
Thank
coming
you,
in.
Chelsea, for joining
You
us. This was
survived.
great.
I did, my first one. No, you guys are awesome. I had such a blast, and then going through memory lane too about past seasons. So you guys are a great crew.
Aw,
I hope
thanks.
to be back.
Of course you
course.
will.
All right, everyone. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you all next week.
Bye.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.